We're going to do one more, though. Deadprez has sent me a replay. Again, thanks to Fresh for sending the previous replay. Thanks to Deadprez for sending this one. We just had a 3v3 party review. Never did 2v2 party, so definitely want to see cheating from the get-go. Good. A bit of a slow cheat, but that's fine. You know, if your teammate is going for a slow cheat, you definitely don't want to kill the ball right in the middle like this. You want to make it ping off to one of the sides, so that he has more, the additional time that he has to react to what happens will be beneficial. So Ghosts in this play just doesn't want to completely neutralize the ball if a slow cheat is coming in. But yeah, he does neutralize it pretty much fully by going directly opposite the opposition and flipping straight through the middle of the ball. Super risky for us, Deadprez, and a slow cheater. If the ball stays middle and the other team also cheated, you're probably getting beaten to the ball. So it's really risky for us to go for this. It's fortunate that your teammate Ghosts landed on it. Otherwise, we were just literally getting scored on here. Like, you would have got scored on if it wasn't for Ghosts being here, because you were not getting there in time. And you just have to know that automatically. If you cheat slow, the ball stays dead center, you're getting beaten. If you cheat slow and the ball bounces off a sidewall, then maybe you can use that additional run-up time you've got to win a race to the ball. Can you look at OCE regionals? Yes, you can. I will not be doing that on stream. Okay, let's take a look at this shot by Ghosts. So this ends up being quite a good kickoff for us, because we get both the boosts. This looks like a pretty easy save to me, shooting it in front of this guy, so it's kind of just a giveaway. But luckily, we can keep pressuring the other side of the field, so it's not the worst thing in the world. But I would have liked to see, more of a first touch here, like fake a shot, definitely fake a shot. But in this position, I think it would be 100% better to drive up to this ball really quickly, to fake a shot, to get that 0-2 guy to back off. And then at this point, we'd want to slow down, take a light first touch, and then immediately get a run-up going for a harder shot from close range. That's going to be harder for him to gauge a reaction to. It's also going to be easier for us to score and pick our spot off a little bounce. So I wouldn't recommend just chipping the ball like this. It's a bit too easy to save. Like I said before, it's not the worst option we could have gone for, but I also don't think it's the best one. Okay. So Ghosts misses his touch. That's obviously not a good idea. And Deadprez with a really risky shot. I wouldn't recommend this. We're hitting it straight at the opposition. Now, if our intention was to shoot this ball on target, I don't think that would be a good idea either, because it's probably an easy save for the opposition goalkeeper, and he might just score with his save. He could just shoot when he saves it. So I wouldn't recommend that either. In this position, just like many other twos positions, the play is keep away. You see 0-2, this guy running into you. We still have enough boost to make an offensive play. The ball is going to, reach our car before he reaches the ball. So the play here would be definitely to pop the ball off the sidewall, because he's already committed, he's flipped in. So we should just save our boost as we drive up to this ball, pop it off the sidewall. With any luck, he drives past it because he's too fast, and then we can get ready to take a shot. And the common theme with this suggestion I'm making, and the previous one that I made for Ghosts, is that I want to see you guys take better first touches that actually keep control of the ball, Hey Shadow, thanks for the tier 1 and the 190 bits. Appreciate it, man. Glad you like the stream. GG rather, before. So yeah, not really any reason to go for this. Looks like we're getting beaten to it. Massive overseer on that recovery. Don't know why we ended up doing that, but it's very fortunately for us worked out. Our recovery has to be better there though, for sure. It took way too long to get back. Speaking of way too long to get back, oh my goodness, he has totally beamed it, hasn't he? 0-2. Okay, he gets the demo. Flip and a flip, and he's on the wrong side of the ball, and he just pops it into his own net. Probably not a good idea. What is this? What is this kickoff? 0-2, like way off to the side. I mean, if I saw this happen, if I saw 0-2, like completely to the right hand side of the ball here, I might even just try to use the rest of my boost to fly into the bottom right like section of the ball and chip it past him just to see what happens. But yeah, chipping it down the middle is not a good idea because that is exactly where he was. Okay, nice. I was worried that you were going to dash into the corner there, but I actually love the position you've taken up. This is really great. Don't want to double commit, but at least we've not cleared the ball straight down the middle. We could have done a better job keeping the ball close to our back wall with that save. Like with any of these saves, these overheads, you have two options really. One of them is to get up super fast and just shoot the ball, which, you know, actually was an option here. This would be the best option, I think, is just to shoot the ball, especially with the goalkeeping that we just saw on display from the other team. But the second option, if we fly up at a bad angle like we did, is to just hit the ball into our back corner. Don't like air roll forward into it like we did here. Like just get a very glancing touch, so we don't hit it as hard into a position that can be struck on target. Like this shot could be a goal, or it could go on target. If we keep it closer to our back wall in the corner, it's going to be harder for the other team to shoot. And yeah, we definitely could have conceded here. We just arrived a bit too fast. Now, we didn't have the luxury in this position. We didn't have the time to get inside the goal before this shot comes in. So we can't use that super overpowered position of just being inside the goal and reacting to anything this guy does by mirroring his movements. So we have to fall back on shadow defense, which is also going to be difficult here because we're on the wrong side for shadow defense. We're on the far post coming at the ball. But, you know, the rule with air dribbles is try to make the save as late as possible. And here, that's not what we did. We tried to jump forward and attack the ball like in this position. We should really try to be making the save like right as the ball hits off our crossbar, as far back as possible, just so we have the most time to react to what's happening. Okay. Probably not going to get very far with this, because although the bump is a really good idea, this aerial doesn't really do anything. Probably better to try control that ball. Oof. Okay, well, we're the one who should be pressuring this ball up until the point up until the point he takes it up the wall. Then we're like, okay, fine, he's obviously losing control because it's up the wall. So you back off. Now, if you back off for the boost, it's usually your teammate who's going to turn and go for the ball while you back off. So you have to know your teammate's going for that. Practicing some little pointless dodge mechanics. And we've scored. Well, I was going to suggest that you'd probably not hit that ball high enough because we slowed down in the approach, but who am I to judge? You've hit it perfectly, I guess. Okay, 0-2, looking every bit as dodgy in defense as ever. Don't go for that. Terrible. Okay, that's a terrible decision. So this is a really easy clear, very easy save, very difficult shot. We just have to look at every position as like risk versus reward. And, you know, this is a difficult shot to hit. It's a very tight angle. You have to time your arrival perfectly, and you have to get it past the goalkeeper. Like, very, very difficult shot. Meanwhile, it's a really, really easy clear. Super easy for the defender to read this. Very easy for him to clear this. So we 100% shouldn't go for it, because I don't like those odds. I mean, if the defender is probably going to read the bounce with ease, and we're going to struggle, don't go for it. If it's the other way around, if it looks like it's going to be awkward for the defender and really easy for you, then go for it, you know? Oh, wow. More oversteer. So we've oversteered on 2 turns, actually, this game. Might be a consistent problem. You're diamond 3, but really mechanical, so you don't place like this. This is plat 1. I don't know what you mean. But if you're Diamond 3, you're probably not really mechanical. Like, you might be able to do 15 flip resets in a row, but if you're stuck in Diamond 3, there's no way you're really mechanical. Like, people, just because you can do, something that requires mechanical ability doesn't mean that you're very mechanically good in ranked. Like, the most important mechanics in ranked is hitting the ball really hard, having a great first touch so you don't give away possession, and recovering really quickly. Other good mechanics to have would be, pathing over boost correctly. That's like half mechanics, half strategy. But fantasy plays that people often associate with mechanical ability are completely unnecessary for ranked gameplay. Speed, power, consistency, all far more important. Yeah, let's take a look at this shot. I'm just not convinced. I'm not convinced with this strike. We've done something that someone in the last game did. I forget who it was. The last game I reviewed. I made the point that you probably want to jump as late as possible. If you're gonna, aerial for a ball. Every aerial you go for, you should probably jump as late as possible, unless you're doing it for deception reasons. Unless you're just jumping to make the other guy panic. But yeah, apart from that, apart from us jumping off too early, we jumped off at the wrong angle. Why fly off at this angle for this shot? Why fly forwards and slightly to the right to shoot left when you could just drive around here and then have a much straighter shot? You know what I mean? And yeah, secondly, we're way too low on the ball here. We're having to lean up at the last second, and that's definitely not going to be a hard shot when you're leaning up at the ball like this. Oh no, have we just conceded out of this? Oh dear. But yeah, bad shots in this position where you're just hitting the near post. You may as well just give the ball to the other team. Wow, we got totally out of position on this one. Just way too close. Overseer again, by the way. Another mispositioning. Another case of mispositioning because we've overseered. Am I on Gamers Ready? What's that? Is that the coaching website for Rocket League? I think it is. And no, I'm not. I don't really like to do Rocket League coaching off stream. I just like to analyze replays because I can chat about it with my Twitch chat. We can have a laugh about some of the funny plays that happen. Okay. A very nice pass here, but not to the right team. I like the idea of controlling the ball here, but we kind of control it on the side of our car instead of the front of our car, so it bounces out the wrong way. Whenever you're trying to catch the ball in this position, I mean, we talked about this last game as well. Last review I did. Two things you want to do when you catch the ball. One of the things is hit it before it bounces. We did that, so that's good. But the other thing we didn't do is make sure to hit it with the front end of your car. One of the front corners as you turn into it, so that it actually, bounces out in front of you. If you hit it with the side of your car, it's going to bounce out beside you, which means you have to make a really awkward turn into it to hit it. And yeah, this is just way too risky. Trying to go for a pass here to a goalkeeper is just too obvious, too dangerous, not a good idea. Only reason to do that would be if you know that your touch is going to take it past the goalkeeper. Mechanical Diamond. Hey, I just want to point out the guy who said that in chat is not the person I'm reviewing the replay of. That's a totally different person. It was just like a random guy. Unless, I don't know, was it Ghosts who said this in chat? Oh no, what have we done here? The other guy has missed the kickoff, and we have jumped, or we have not jumped into the ball, thus hitting the bar, and then we jump up really early for the rebound and go for some kind of 360 backflip reverse aerial shot. Rip Leafex. Okay, I kind of have to watch that. What have they done to slag off Leafex? Wait a minute.
I'm always here to make fun of Brody. Let's just put that out there.
True.
I'm always here to make fun of Brody. Let's just put that out there.
True.
I don't know. how that's making fun of Leafix, but okay. Hey, Fresh, thanks for another tier 3 and the 9 months. I really appreciate it, man. Hopefully this one here has been helpful to you today. Just added you back into the list. There we go. Oh, a nice bump. Don't go for it though, no! I mean, he bumped one of the players, but he didn't bump them both. There's 2 opponents here closer to the ball than we are, and not only closer, but also he's facing the ball and we're not. So just because one of them gets bumped doesn't mean that the other is out of the game. This was not a good idea. The bump was a good idea, definitely. But he didn't bump both of them. It's that fast kickoff. He's corner passed it perfectly to Ghosts. Look at this. Sick corner pass by 0-2. This is the pass I've been talking about all day. Look how effective this is. Fresh and his team. Look at that. Straight into the middle. The defender has no idea what to do. Wide open shot. That's what you want. Fast kickoff. And it actually worked. See, look how easy this ball is to shoot. In this case, off target. But it's a very easy, shot. You know what I mean? Oh, a nice little ceiling recovery. I like it. And a center ball. Okay. Bang. Oh, unlucky. So, love this pass by Ghosts. That was sick. Main thing that we probably want to do here, Deadprez, is get some height on the shot. So instead of jumping into this, jumping up, level with the ball, and then dodging to send it straight on target, why not just try and chip it just top shelf of the goal? That's probably the play here. They hit it into the wall instead of into the opponents. Now Fresh, in this case, the defense were making a terrible play. That was a terrible defensive play. But if he had been on the orange team, it would have been great. Do you see what I mean? If we imagine for a second that 0-2 is on the orange team, it was a great pass. But in this case, it was actually a really bad play. Okay, good speed. Bump! Not even necessary because the other guy has not gone for the ball, and we're scoring. Where's he going? Why would he... Are people blind? Is nobody paying attention to the hard clear, which is obviously coming? They just leave the ball. Or they just leave their goal. They're like, I don't need to defend that. I'm driving over here. This guy's doing the really weird fast kickoff again, which is not fast enough to be useful. Okay, Ghost's under pressure. He plays it to the side. I like it. Baits in the defender. Pass to Ghosts. Okay. Would have loved to see the passing play here because Ghost is already down the line. If he turned left, obviously he would have been available for the pass, but he did recover immediately. Still, hitting the ball to the right here is significantly better than shooting because there's an obvious block coming in. So, we kind of went straight forward. I think if the defender hadn't completely whiffed, though, we would have been in trouble here. Better to, avoid the block, go to the right there. Ghost with another center ball off the sidewall. Look at this guy. Oh, we fake ourselves. So, let me just talk about something briefly that I mentioned in another replay, or I think I mentioned it in my my video that I put up the other day called 6 Most Common Mistakes in Rocket League. Really a more accurate title for that video would have been 6 Most Common Mistakes I See During Replay Reviews. But yeah, we wanted to make it clear what the topic of the video was going to be. And one of those mistakes is related to challenging. Now, in this case, we've very clearly got a 1v1 situation here because our teammate is out of the game. Now, people wanted me to elaborate on when you should challenge and when you should fake a challenge. And it's not actually as difficult. It's not as complicated as you might think. It's quite straightforward. But there's 2 things you need to consider when you're deciding whether or not you should challenge a ball. The first thing that you want to consider is how much space, how much time do you have to work with after faking a challenge, if that's what you decide to do. Now here, if we decide to fake a challenge, we actually have about half the pitch left to work with. which is a good amount. That's quite a lot of space. That's enough time to get into a good position to save an incoming shot, or to, you know, reverse into a second challenge, turn into a second challenge. There's a good bit of space here to follow up our fake challenge if we decide to go for one. The other thing that you want to consider is how out of the game is your teammate. So obviously right now our teammate is not relevant in the play. He's not near the ball to pressure it. He's not near our goal to defend it. But he is, you know, boosting back into our half. So he will be there soon, which is important. So if we combine those two things, if we combine the fact that we have about half a pitch worth of space to work with before the defender will, or before the attacker will reach our goal, and our teammate is as quickly as he can, hopefully, coming back towards our goal or towards the ball to pressure it, then, you know, we should probably fake a challenge here. When you look at everything, all the information we have available to us. Because what's likely to happen is we'll fake a challenge, turn left. We're forcing this guy into making an outplay on a challenge that he thinks is coming in. Ideally, we wouldn't want to go this like close while faking a challenge. We'd want to fake a challenge much further away from the ball. You don't want to commit this far forward. But yeah, does that make sense to you guys? It's to do with how much space you have to work with and just how out of the game your teammate is. Obviously, if your teammate has glitched through the wall and he is not coming back ever because he's stuck on the wrong side of the wall, then you have to play it as if he's not coming back. You know, in some plays, your teammate is not going to get back until the other team take a shot. There's no way he's going to be there to interfere with the play or make a save. So in that position, you just have to like look for your best opportunity to challenge the ball and take it, or you know, look for your best position to make a save with. But this was not one of those positions. He is on his way back. If we fake a challenge, we're probably going to have backup on the next challenge. You see what I mean? Now, if we were here, you know, if we're all the way over here when we make a challenge, now it's probably getting into the range where making a real challenge is just better. If like we're in this kind of area, making a challenge, you know, we're all the way in our own corner, and he's about to shoot visibly or make a dribble, and our teammate is all the way over there. Like, yeah, obviously he's not going to get back in time to help you, so we just have to assume that, like, you know, we're alone. Stick a foot in if you see a clear-cut opportunity. Yeah, hopefully that's somewhat sensible to you guys. I think it's not as complicated as people think it is. Like the question of when to challenge, when to fake challenge. It's actually quite straightforward. You just have to make a really quick read on the position. You have to decide, okay, am I alone here, or am I supposed to stall? And you have to make that read. You have to like make that decision in the moment. You have to stick to whatever you decide, because if you hesitate, you're probably going to mess up. So you have to just make a call. Okay, can I stall long enough here for my teammate to come back, or do I have to just look for an opportunity and go for it? Okay, demo's coming in. Nice that we barely dodged him, but we did dodge him, which is good. The lucky thing for us here is it didn't look like the shot was going to be coming too quickly, so we can just focus fully on dodging this demo. We had a couple of interesting options to dodge this demo. We could have half flipped onto the back wall behind us, funnily enough. Not with a full half flip, but with a sideways half flip. So it's like side flip into forward roll to cancel the second half of the side flip and land like sideways basically on the wall. Or we could just, you know, reverse like we did, but a bit more. So I think part of that demo failing was us dodging it. The other half was because he didn't aim it very well. Always the case, but okay, it's kind of the same thing as we saw earlier, where, you know, our teammate is out of the game and we're somewhat alone, and you have to decide, like, okay, are we going to fake a challenge here or not? Now this is a position where there's one other thing to consider, which I didn't mention earlier, and that's why I'm going to mention it now, and that is like how much control does the opposition player actually have over the play. Now, if it looks like they're 99% of the time about to take a shot, like if you're really, really convinced that they're going to take a shot, then obviously fake challenges do nothing, because fake challenges against a shot, or no, rather an actual challenge, sorry, will do nothing, because he's just gonna hit it over you, like in this case, you know. Like the challenge is really looking for a light first touch to exploit, but if he's just shooting, then you know, challenging the ball is pointless, because, well, we're not going to get to the ball at the same time he is here, quite clearly. Like, he's just beating us to this ball, and in that case you have to just turn around and make a run for your goal. This isn't even a fake challenge at this point. It's just like, okay, let's just get back, you know. But, you know, earlier I was referring to like a dribbler. If somebody has full control of the ball, how do we interfere with them? Do we either challenge him or fake challenge? Well, this isn't really either. This isn't either of those cases, because he's not dribbling. He's just shooting, you know. All right, so we're down by 1 with 40 seconds left. Still cheating on kickoffs, which is good. Okay, let's take a look at what happened here. This is quite a common like position to get stuck in 2v2. Like, not many teams know how to actually get goals from this position, where the ball is like up near the wall, up near in the side wall, up near the opposition's half. Difficult position to get goals from in 2v2. In 3v3, obviously, you just ping it off the back wall, second man commits instantly, because you've got backup ready if that doesn't go well. But 2v2, it's a bit harder, because you're not as willing to commit as a second man in this position to a center. And with 35 seconds left, you know, is that a necessary risk to take? Probably not. So the safer ways to set up a shot that's difficult to save would be, number one, like, you could just fake this center. Don't hit it like this, because it's pointless. You're just giving it to the goalie. Instead, just try and bring it down and dribble. And usually the best dribbling play to make from the near post position like this is just to roll the ball slowly and then just bump the defense. Just cause some chaos, because people misplay when they get bumped, and people panic when they get bumped. This, you know, just hitting the ball into the back wall, not going to work. Not if we're hitting it down like this, it's not going to work. You know, the only thing we could really do here is either like try and catch the ball on the wall, bring it down, demo the goalies. Alternatively, you could try and hit it up, because that's going to be harder to save. But if we're hitting it up, we need to, you know, actually drive up underneath the ball, not along the wall beside it. You know, hit it up into the ceiling here. That would be the only other play that would really make sense. Hitting it down and into the corner almost never works. So we're kind of faking ourselves in a lot of these challenges, you know. We're just looking more at the mechanics of a challenge. The biggest issue with your challenges, Deadprez, is that you jump too early. Really no need for this. We don't need to jump now and then dodge here in order to hit this ball. Like, you're relying on him touching the ball towards you in order for you to make contact. Which is a misplay in and of itself. Ideally, your challenge is on someone who might be or might not be cutting the ball sideways. Like, he might be cutting the ball towards you here, but he also might just be continuing to dribble straight forward. Like, the best challenge at countering both of those plays is just a challenge from goal side, which is, by the way, exactly where you are. But a challenge where you wait longer before jumping. So just wait until you're actually next to the ball and then dodge into it, if that's what you've decided to do. I don't actually think that's the best play in this position, but it is worth mentioning, because you've missed a few of your challenges where you're kind of faking yourself out more than anything else. But, I mean, very little upside to a 50-50 from here, so I wouldn't recommend challenging here at all. You know, I just wanted to talk about the mechanics of the challenge briefly, since it does seem to be a recurring problem. Yeah, we've gotten ourselves scored on again, because we just overcommitted. This guy's going for fast kickoffs. Every single kickoff, by the way. So, you know, if you don't know a way to counter the fast kickoffs that he is doing, well, the most important thing is just to go a bit faster yourself, because we're taking too long to get to the ball. So look how quick he is compared to us. But if our normal kickoff is faster than this, we'll be fine. Just got to actually boost into that flip. We can't have stopped boosting and then flipped instead of throwing our car into the flip by boosting into it. You know what I mean? That'll really get you moving a lot faster on your kickoff approach if you can boost into the flip. Like accelerate the boost, or accelerate the flip with boost at the start. Oh, well, we've scored. The other team just gave us one of the near posts. We'll take it. Late comeback maybe. So we're a bit too low on the ball here, so we just end up getting crushed. Okay, let's bring it down, and okay. Interesting. I was going to say let's just try and bring it down and maybe like deal 50-50 if necessary. Or you can dribble if necessary. But we went up the wall here. I would have loved to see you like fake, like what you did here to set it up was great. Like you just drove at this ball as if you're going to hit it into the corner. That's perfect. That, you know, will get the opponent moving in that position, 0-2 in this case. And then you just want to 50-50 it with this guy as he comes in. To get a ball that actually bounces out into the middle that your teammate can use, you know? .50-50s are so underrated in the current ranked metagame. Everybody's trying to get these little outplays, and you dribble past one guy, and then the second player in their team in this case is just ready to take the ball for free. But actually, if we 50-50 this ball, there's more of a chance it goes past both of them. Still, though, a pretty good game. Now let's do the rank guess part of the stream. So I don't think I spoiled this one, so everybody can guess the rank of this one. Diamond 3, Champ 3, Plat 1, Champ 2, Champ 2, Diamond 2, Gold, Champ 2, Diamond 3, Champ 2. Lots of Champ 2s. Lots of Diamond 3s as well. Plat 3, Diamond 1. Plat 3, Plat 3. Bronze 3, Diamond 3. In the last replay, I was torn between Champ 2 and Champ 3. In this one, it's sort of similar, but I'm pretty confident about Champ 2 for this one. I don't think I would go as high as Champ 3. I'm fairly confident of Champ 2. But Champ 1 is definitely possible. It could just be a Champ 1 lobby playing up, but I think, you know, Champ 1, 2 is pretty reasonable for this one. I was wrong. It's Diamond 3, Div 3. Rubbish. I wanted to guess high, just to annoy Twitch chat by how right I am. Quite a lot of people got this right, though. Well done with Twitch chat. Some people were saying Plat, though. I was like, oh, there's some Plats in the chat. I need to annoy the Plats by guessing high. Now, genuinely, I think my low end of this one was Champ 1. Champ 1-ish. Which is pretty close. Diamond 3, Div 3 looks like we're getting there. There were plenty of talking points in this game in order to help us get there. But the biggest one has got to be like, you know, just recovering faster. So there's less solo plays in defense. Like if we look at this game again, which we're not going to do, by the way, and we count how many times someone has to defend by themselves, it would be a very high number, because you guys keep leaving each other out to dry. You keep on going for a play in offense, or going for a challenge in offense, or playing the ball in offense that really you shouldn't be playing, and that leaves somebody to defend alone. So yeah, trying to limit the positions where that is happening is really going to help you guys. And yeah, definitely working the challenge game. The challenge game is not the best. We need to just hit the ball in more challenges for sure. That is so disorientating. Johnny, I'm dizzy. Yeah. Same. But yeah, thanks for not titling the video, Deadprez. Hopefully that was helpful to you. Like a lot of the, you know, control that you guys are trying to use. The passing of ghosts at the end of this game is really good. Definitely keep that up. Using the walls to pass, the side walls and the corner walls. But yeah, offensively, it looks like we're just everybody. It's pretty much all the same stuff really these days in most of the mechanical problems that people are having. It's all the same basically. Just got to try and get better at reaching the ball quickly and hitting it hard and not taking yourselves out of the game. It's useful, thank you. You're welcome, man. Thanks for sending the replay, and thanks for the patience while waiting for it, because yeah, I have been pretty busy with casting and stuff recently. Haven't been able to do as many replay review streams as I want to. Who was that? JFC name thingy. Thanks for the tier 1, man. Really appreciate it. Yeah, Deadprez, just to reiterate one thing that I did touch on at the end there, and that is how OP 50-50s are. Been telling a lot of people to just experiment with them in their rank games, and I would definitely suggest that you guys do as well. So if you're in your back corner and you see somebody coming at you, instead of trying to dribble him, just take a 50-50 with him, just to experiment and see what happens. Because a lot of times what will happen is you'll 50-50 the ball and it'll bounce out in a way that's really difficult for the other player on their team to defend or to utilize, and you can attack off it. Just draw them in. Get good at 50-50s because it's underrated. Obviously there's positions where, you know, you see somebody coming in for a challenge, you're like, that is the worst challenge I've ever seen, just going to nip the ball past him and now I'm in a 1v1. But sometimes you're not sure, you're like, okay, it's going to be pretty hard to get the ball past this guy. Instead of trying to do it riskily, I'm just going to 50-50 it. Yeah, you just got to make up your mind on the spot. Okay, can I easily get the ball past this guy and more importantly, get the ball under control again? Because really in 2v2, there's no point in like just getting the ball past one guy if you're going to concede possession in the process to their other guy. It's only good if you can dribble past one guy and still have control, so that you can dribble their other guy as well if he commits, you know? It's a good stiffness setting. Really depends what you want to use. One thing that you could try with camera stiffness, if you want to try experiment with it, is download a dribbling training pack. So dribbling challenge 2, for example. Whatever your camera stiffness is at, increase it. Wow, mine was at 0 right now. I did not know that. Let's put it to like 0.7 or something, which is something a lot of people use. And then see how good you are at the dribbling challenge, okay? With high stiffness. You might find that you're really good at it. You might find that you're losing control of the ball a lot. But that's, you know, part of the experiment. Just test your ground control with the high camera stiffness, and try to be, you know, as try hard as possible, because these, you know, tests only work if you're actually try harding. Don't be biased and just try and prove that your settings are the best. Be like, oh look, the settings that I always play with are the best. But yeah, just give it a go with those settings, and then go the other way. Like, try to... How do I restart the entire training? Can I do that? I don't know if I can without going back to the main menu. But yeah, then try to change the camera stiffness to way lower than you usually use. If you're somebody who uses high, try switching it to really low and just feel the difference. Feel how easy it is. I mean, in my case, it just feels like it's really easy to control the ball and keep it like near me when I'm on lower stiffness. Like, I just feel like I'm, you know, not fighting it as much to stay on my car, for example. Hey Karma, thanks for the host. Hope you had a good stream. Giving camera stiffness advice to people. Maybe you'll want to try this out yourself, and that is just, it's mainly an experiment. Like, players who use really low stiffness, you might find that you're more of a deadly player. You're faster if you turn the stiffness up for dribbling in particular, And players who use high stiffness, you might find that your ball control is better. You're not fighting to keep control of it as much when you turn it down. And then you just got to find the sweet spot, like how like, you know, controlled do you want to be versus how you know, fast do you want to be? Because I think if you turn the stiffness up, it kind of makes you play faster. But yeah, dribbling challenge 2 is a pretty good place to try it, because it's just got some easy dribbles at the start that you can experiment with. And yeah, it's crazy. Like when I turn the stiffness up, I really feel like I'm having a fight to keep it under control, and I always end up going supersonic, whether or not I want to. I always end up supersonic on every single dribble, pretty much. Whereas if I'm on 0 stiffness, I never end up supersonic. I'm just like gracefully like underneath the ball on every single play, and I don't use either of the camera stiffnesses that I've just shown you guys. Neither of those are my normal ones. I usually use like somewhere 0.35 or something. But it's not all about dribbling. Like the other thing that camera stiffness really impacts is like your aerial control. So you want to do aerials as well, a couple of aerial training packs. See what kind of impact that setting has on your ability. Looks nicer, crimson standard or black? Crimson for me. Yeah, let's see. Self-set backboard consistency. This is a training pack I know really well. Let's see what happens when I max the camera stiffness. Let's see if it has any impact at all on how I'm playing. Man, I feel like a freestyler because my car is huge. My car is absolutely massive on my screen. I feel like if I actually did play with this camera stiffness, I would also increase my camera distance to like this or something, because my car is absolutely massive right now. Probably do something like this. They kind of go hand in hand though. Luffy, you go very in depth in every question. It's the only thing I know how to do, man. I don't know. This feels weird. Why is the camera just glued in this position? But I've told many people this. Like they'll think that one camera stiffness has to be better, because why would you want your camera flailing around the back of your car? But actually you can get somehow better control. It's almost automatic in a lot of players. Like they can never ever practice with low camera stiffness, but then as soon as they switch to it, they're like, oh yeah, my dribbling challenge is actually a lot better now. How is that? Show matches with a Vampling comment. I'd love to cast a Vample games, whether it's like a try-hard show match or a stylish show match. Been watching some of his videos, and really they are, you know, quite incredible. I don't think anybody's really playing the game like he is. So creative and fluid. I didn't get the end of this. Yeah, I don't know what to think about one stiffness. I don't know. I'm trash. Doesn't feel right. I don't think I'll be very good at 0 either. Let's turn it to 290 0. See what happens. Show match the car mat. I'm heading off actually in a bit. Okay, this already feels so much easier with low stiffness to just like, I don't know. I don't feel like having a. This feels like effortless. It feels effortless. Like every movement feels like there's no effort being going into it. Yeah, like low stiffness is just better for me, I guess. I'm on 0 right now. Not sure I want to stay on like 0 camera stiffness, but yeah, low stiffness just feels fluid, feels easy, you know. Sometime I should ask her. What is Karma playing? A lot of 1s these days, or what's Karma been playing? Probably 3s mainly, right? You think getting used to high stiffness is better though? I don't think so. I don't really think it makes a difference. Like the argument for high stiffness is that your camera doesn't move around. So every single time that you're shooting or you know moving, the camera's in the same place. But I don't know, it just feels like the game just feels easier in low stiffness. I think it's just there's something about it. I can't really put my finger on it, but it's just like maybe as a player who uses high transition speed, the low stiffness is like necessary to, you know, cancel it out. Yeah, I'm not really thinking right now. Sorry, I'm talking too much. Do any pros use high stiffness? I think most pros probably. I don't really know, but I'd guess they probably use something like this 0.5 to 0.7 kind of range. But I prefer lower. I don't go all the way to 0, but I do like using like 0.35. I messed around with that. I messed around with really high stiffness, and I was like, whoa, okay. Every single time I do anything, I'm really fast right now. I'm being forced by the game to go really fast, but the control is out the window
every day.
And I feel like instead of relying on my camera stiffness to play fast, why not just actually play fast and then have my camera, help me have control? Because I'd rather have control and then just play faster, because I can, right? Because you just, you know how to play faster. You just move quicker, recover faster, boost more efficiently. And then have control while doing it, rather than constantly be fighting. I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm moving really fast, but am I actually moving fast, or is it just my camera's making it look like I'm moving fast? 'Cause I think it's probably the latter. I think that players with high camera stiffness probably just look like they're moving fast when they're not really. It's like players with 110 FOV look like they're moving faster than players with 90 FOV, for example. Like, watch this. I bet I'll look slower with 92 FOV, even though it's the exact same. Just because there's less stuff flying past the screen in peripheral vision. Like, we probably look slower right now. Maybe we are marginally slower. Maybe we're significantly slower, but it's an illusion. You're not actually faster with 110, you just feel faster. Who knows though, maybe we can reverse engineer that. Maybe that feeling of speed will actually make you play quicker. Who knows? But yeah, when it comes to camera stiffness, I think it's just an experimental thing. But it's not as simple as, oh, max stiffness is the best because my camera doesn't wiggle around now and move. How can that possibly be good? It's difficult to understand why having your camera be loose compared to your car's position is good. It just is. It just is, in my experience, good to have it be a little bit loose. Yeah, what do you guys think about like this little experiment that we're running? What are the visible differences? Personal preference, about 0.35, about something like that. But I think anything between like 0.35 and 0.65 is fine. Anything around about the middle. You just want something in the middle, I think. You don't want it max, you don't want it on the minimum. I don't think you want either of the extremes. I think you want it somewhere in the middle. Tips on aerial control for console? I haven't got a clue, mate. I've never played console. Don't use controller. No idea. Don't see how it would be different from for console and Steam though. Yeah, I'm gonna head off pretty soon, guys. I'm gonna look for somebody to host. It's really preference. Any stiffness is viable. I feel like, yeah, any stiffness is viable, but I wouldn't recommend max stiffness. And I wouldn't recommend minimum. Just like I wouldn't recommend minimum or maximum transition speed. I kind of lean on the higher end of transition speed and the lower end of camera stiffness. But I definitely wouldn't recommend you use max or minimum of either. That's pretty much what I'm saying. I think you can play with 1.3 or 1.2 transition if you want, but don't use default. Like, default transition speed is so slow. This one. Like, this is just, there's no way that this is a good idea. You're like, oh, I wish, I'm gonna go, I want to see what's happening in the ball. Hold on, let me wait for my camera to turn over there. Oh, that's what's happening. I wonder where I'm going. Oh, I'm going this way. You know, it's like such a huge delay. It just can't be good. Even putting it up a little is significantly faster already. But yeah, I like higher on this, lower on this. It was Daddy Halo 3 with the 7-month prime. Thanks for letting me know, King Spectre. I was in a bit of a train of thought there. Also, Alchemith, thanks for the brand new prime. I think that's all the subs today. I think I thanked them all. I really do appreciate you guys, as always. Did I hear your sub message? Oh. For some reason I just didn't see that, even though I read your name right now. You'll never know how much your show matches on YouTube get me through every day. Oh. Well, that means a lot to me, man. Thanks for saying that. I definitely like. I want to, you know, just you know, put your mind at ease. I do not lack motivation to make Rocket League content, but I love to hear messages like that nonetheless. But yeah, I want to let you guys know I don't lack motivation to keep making content and to keep on casting games for you guys. Still enjoy it just as much as I ever have. So, not feeling like stopping anytime soon.